Alright, yo, man. Welcome back, gang, to another YouTube video. Today we got something special on the menu. I always say we got something special, so I better deliver this time. But for real, it's time for another anime lessons applied to my artist journey. So if you are looking to be inspired, motivated, or just encouraged to perform your best, or maybe looking for tools and helpful mindsets to help you tackle whatever mission you are on the best way without putting yourself down too much and developing an inner belief in yourself, this is the right spot, gang. This is the right spot. You came to the right place, man. Come in, take a seat. But the reason to why I'm making a new anime lessons video is because I recently just started a new artwork. It's actually sitting beside me right here. It's huge as fuck. If you've seen my last video, you know it's a Demon Slayer inspired artwork. But before I even started on this artwork, I'm not gonna lie, gang, I almost never even started in the first place. I was scared out of my mind, bro. I know it sounds ridiculous to say out loud, like, bro, it's just a canvas. Like, what are you talking about? Just throw some paint on it. If I have to keep it a stack with y'all, man, it was all fear. Like, fear was holding me back. And fear will also be the main topic of today's anime lesson. Fear is something every creative person or just every normal person will encounter throughout their journey in life. And in this video, I'm not talking about some dramatic fear of failure or like an existential crisis. I mean that small, quiet kind of fear, you know? The one that whispers in your ear like, what if this doesn't turn out as good as you hope for? What if you just mess up, bro? Like, what if you mess up? You'll have to start all over again. Something like these small voices in your head. And also, of course, the most superficial one, what if the people just don't fuck with it? Something that actually hit me from my previous solo leveling artwork was I realized people just didn't really mess with it as much as I did, of course. Like, I decided to sit down and sacrifice hours, months, days on painting that artwork. So, of course, I'm the one who cares most about that artwork. And I realized that when I actually made a lot of posts about it, I realized the reception wasn't as great as I hoped for. And that is something you have to realize if you are on your journey towards achieving anything in your life. You have to realize nobody will care about your goals and dreams as much as you will. So that fear is very real, but nonetheless, all those mentioned fears almost stopped me from never picking up the brush in the first place. But here's the thing about fear. Fear isn't something you just overcome once and then you're all Gucci. Nah, it will show up again and again and again, just like the weekly bum-ass stand user in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. On every new level you reach on your journey, you will encounter some sort of new fear. And this time for me, it just showed up because I wanted to start working on a bigger canvas than I usually have. When I had just bought this canvas and I just stood and stared at it, it just felt like stepping into a whole new territory, something I knew nothing about. I've been painting for 7 years, but for some reason it just felt like I was a beginner again. It was weird as hell. And the funny thing about it all was like, nothing had really changed. Everything was the same. I was still me. The canvas was white. I was the same artist who was capable of making amazing artworks like I've made in the past. But the only thing that intimidated me was the size of the canvas. Which is funny, right? Like, fear is really not logical at all. All fear needs is just one moment of doubt to sneak in. It will tell you stories like, you are not ready for this is too much for you, and what if all of this just proves you're a fraud? I low-key caught myself delaying the start of this artwork, like just sitting at my desk, checking my references, double checking my paints, like my brushes, just, you know, like all kinds of classic avoidance behavior. But then I got inspired by the characters I'm actually supposed to paint on this canvas. Both Tanjiro and Giyu. I already mentioned Tanjiro in my previous anime lessons, but hey, he's a go-to character, man. He runs in when fear is at its peak. So how can I not admire that? There is a moment in Demon Slayer, like one of the earliest moments, when Tanjiro meets his first demon. He's terrified as shit. His hands are shaking. Everything in him is just screaming, bro, you gotta run, you gotta dip, you gotta skedaddle. But he doesn't. He merged the demon, to say the least. And it's not just that one demon. He does it again with the small spider boy. I forgot what his name was, Rui. He's definitely outclassed, but he still continues to defeat him. All Tanjiro does is honestly just take another step whenever he feels like he's paralyzed. He takes one step forward. And it's basically all because he knows what he's fighting for. I don't want to go into a whole deep spiel about Tanjiro again. I already did that. But the important thing about him is he's not fearless. He's human, he gets scared, but the important thing is he just moves anyway. And when I did that, when I just picked up my paintbrush and painted anyways, even though I wasn't sure how it would turn out, I just realized fear isn't proof that you can't do something. It's just proof that you're about to grow. It's simply just that. The fear wasn't about painting itself. It was more about the person I was about to become. The person I would have to become to finish this artwork. The person who works on larger canvases. This is only a starting point for something completely new. Hopefully one day I will even be painting a whole wall maybe. And I think something inside of me just knew, oh damn, that would mean I'd have to grasp a whole new level of discipline and conviction. Like I would have to become a person who takes bigger risks. And it all just boils down to stepping out of your comfort zone. And I think that's something we easily forget as artists. We all think fear is a sign that we're just not ready for whatever we're about to do. But that's not true. Fear is just a sign that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to take that next step and leave your old self behind. Of course, like not all of your values, bro, but you know what I mean. Like the things holding you back. Leave that shit behind. Leave that shit at the door. So I decided to pick up my brush like Tanjiro picked up his sword, or like when Naruto picked up his headband against Sabusa when he was scared as shit. I dipped it in the paint and laid down my first couple of strokes. Pause! And here's the magic. As soon as I started doing that, I could feel the fear slowly dwindling away. It started to lose its power. For each stroke for each stroke I did, I could feel the fear. Hey, yo. I could hear the fear was getting quieter. It's always, when you think about it, it's almost like fear can't survive in action. Like something happens, as soon as you take action, it gets weaker. I think fear thrives in hesitation more than anything. Just in standing still as a whole. I think that's where fear grows the most. But as soon as you're starting to move, it somehow just starts to die or fade away. This might be random, but when you think about Giyu, like the other character I'm painting, he kinda embodies this principle. Like, he doesn't talk much. He even told Akaza, like, I don't know if you all seen the movie, but he even told Akaza, like, bro, shut your I don't want to speak. I don't want to say nothing. He's just a character who rarely shows fear, at least outwardly. But I don't think it's because he's fearless, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure that boy was shitting his pants when he realized how strong Akaza was. Like, bro, I know he was like, damn, mom. I think it's because he's decisive. He moves forward even though the whole situation is uncertain. He doesn't know anything about Akaza. He only knows he smoked Rengoku, and Rengoku was one of the strongest Hashira. But he is the embodiment of quiet, calm, action taking. Can you say that? Action taken? But I think all his calmness and his confidence comes from taking action. And I don't think it's because of the absence of fear. Don't get me wrong, this might be overanalyzing, but he doesn't waste his time and his mental capacity on words. He prefers to move and take action. That way you can better deal with fear. When I started to sketch down and when I started to paint, I realized I kind of felt the same way. The painting, the canvas itself became less intimidating. It was no longer like a whole mountain I had to climb. It was just about taking a step over the next rock. It became a surface for my colors and a story as a whole, and just pure raw emotions. And as I mentioned before, this is also kind of important. You have to realize, like, fear doesn't disappear. Not even when you grow to the person you want to become. It also evolves with you. And I don't think it's because, oh, the world always gives me some new hurdle I have to overcome. It does, but you know, it's not like that. It's more like it evolves with you, because your fear always has to be at the same level as you. Fear is, when you boil it down to its essence, more than a tool than anything. It's something you have to use to become stronger or better or smarter, whatever it could be. Like, for example, the fear I felt when I was about to start this canvas painting. It wasn't the same fear I felt when I first started making YouTube videos or started sharing my art online. Back then it was like simple shit, like what if the people I have in my life see this video and think I'm like a loser or something? What if I dedicated all of my time to this YouTube shit and it never really worked out in the end? Like, could you imagine that? Yeah, damn. I might actually still have that fear, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, but now my fear was basically just like, what if I'm not ready for this next level? I would say fear changes its costume, but it's still the same actor. You might see Willem Dafoe play different kinds of roles, but in your hearts of hearts, he's still the Green Goblin. No offense, Willem Dafoe, you are the GOAT, not gonna lie, bro. Or Robert Downey Jr. might play different types of roles, like the black guy in Tropic Thunder.
What?
You know what? Fuck that, man. I'm sick of this koala hugging nigga. Tell me.
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
That movie was crazy when you think about it. Or the new Doctor Doom, but we all will always remember him as Iron Man. And this might also be random, but I thought about another character from My Hero Academia. We gotta represent Shoto Todoroki. He actually faces fear early on. I'm not talking about the hot boiling water he got poured on his face. That was crazy, man. But it was in the tournament arc when he was facing Midoriya. He faced a really real fear of confronting himself. He had been avoiding part of himself, actually half of himself. I don't know if you remember that arc, but every new challenge he encountered forced him to face a new version of himself. All the way from using his fire side to melt his ice side or like stabilize his temperature to being forced to release his fire side in the very end. I love Shoto's characters because his character is all about balance. And I would say art is the same. And also, of course, facing a new side of yourself. Like, bro, his family had issues. Shoto as a character is pretty, I wouldn't say he's pretty stale. I wish we got more from him. I don't know what happened. At some point, his whole character became more about his family than himself. Anyways, when it comes to facing a new part of yourself, I think art is the same. Every time you level up, the canvas changes, and it might be you trying out a new technique or using a different brush, maybe a new type of paint. Fear will always show up, and you just have to remember, bro, it's not because you're weak or you're not built for this. It's because you're growing, as I said before. The only thing we're allowed to believe is that we won't regret the choices we've made, because fear will always make you try not choose comfort. It tries to make you avoid the feeling of regret at all times. It will even lead you to not trying at all. But the funny thing about it is, regret never comes from failing. It typically comes from not even moving in the first place. And I thought about that a lot while I was painting this piece. Because to be honest, the thing about it is, I just don't want to look back and remember all the times fear held me back. Just plain out like stopped me on my artist journey. I want to remember when I look back, whenever fear hit me, and I kept moving regardless. That's what Tanjiro does, and that's also what Giyu does. The two characters I'm painting right now. And that's basically just what all great anime protagonists do. And even great anime side characters. I low-key mentioned it before. I said it was a tool, but the best thing about fear is it's actually a gift. It's a compass, shout out Akasa, pointing you towards the new version of yourself. If you feel fear, that means the one thing you're doing is worth doing. When you take action despite of it, you don't just paint a painting or run a mile or lift your personal record. You build confidence, and that's important. Confidence doesn't just show up. It's earned, and it results in you growing as an artist or as an athlete or as a comedian. Who knows? I don't know, bro. I don't know what y'all are into. And it's all about proving to yourself that fear isn't a wall. It's just a door. Bro, I was cooking with that one. Damn. And that's basically how I felt about this Tanjiro and Giyu artwork in the Infinity Castle. Like, I was thinking, the Infinity Castle, can I really paint that? I got so inspired by the movie, but I was like, it's the Infinity Castle. It's literally infinite, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Can I even draw infinite buildings, bro? Oh my God, it looked so detailed in the cinemas. I was like, yo, I gotta challenge myself to do this. But the canvas that terrified me at first is now on its way to becoming one of my favorite artworks I've ever created on my art journey. And it's not because it's perfect, because I will mess up. I know I will mess up, but it's because it's proof. I think it's proof that fear just can't stop me, to be honest. I'm like that. And so are you. We keep moving, gang. If you're standing in front of your own form of blank canvas, literally or metaphorically, and fear is whispering in your ear, just remember this: fear is not a sign to stop. It's a signal that you're about to grow. It's that simple. Just take your own first stroke, then the next, and just watch how your fear will fade away. Because on the other side of that fear is the artist or the person you're meant to become. Hey man, thank you all so much for listening and watching this video all the way to the end if you're still here. If this message hit home for you, please let me know in the comments what kind of fear you're facing and what's holding you back on your creative journey at the moment. I would really like to know what you guys got going on in your lives. And I would also like to know what your kind of first brushstroke is going to be on your journey. I'm really happy I decided to make this form of new series, as I feel like I'm actually providing something to y'all. I'm being more helpful. I feel like I've become more purposeful on my art journey. It's not just only about me. Now it's also about me sharing my experiences and my wisdom I pick up along the way. And I think that's huge. I'm glad I decided to do this. I hope this video was helpful to some of y'all out there. If y'all want more videos like this, please let me know as well. I just love connecting with y'all through anime and life lessons. And that's also one of the reasons to why I love anime in the first place, because it just helps you so much in life, honestly. Like, I don't know how to get through all of this without anime. But hey man, please hit the like button. Run this video up, subscribe to my channel if you like this video, if you like what you hear. Also, if you like what you see, you know what I'm saying? Your boy is low-key looking handsome. I got my hair cut today. I don't know if you can see, a little fade, a little bit. It's not even a fade, it's just a 3 all over. I don't know, bro. I feel lazy today, okay? I'll see y'all in the next one. As always, remember to take care out there. It's a crazy world, but still remember to stay beautiful. Alright, gang. Much love. Peace.